Hurting, world full of busy bees working. I ain't never met a free person. I don't get along with these earthlings. I'm trying to seek purpose, fight for something I believe's worth it. For the curse, I'ma reverse it. I don't dream cause I sleep nervous. Yet I keep flirting, face death like a Steve Irwin. Whole heat, I'ma drink thermos. Tell the bartender keep serving. I'm trying to be perfect, using dirty shit to clean dirt with. Only happy when the weed burning. Traded oxygen to breathe herping. Till I see curtains, lungs fail and they cease working. Air is something that I need urgent. Suffocating, trying to squeeze words in. What would I do with my last breath? Would I yell? Would I cry? Would I laugh? Cause I'm glad that I'm past that mess. Till I pass, never felt that blessed. Even bad breath when you living is better than good breath. When you lack flesh, got a glass chest that I cracked and my lost breath hasn't made it back yet. I'm on my last breath, walking the last step. I'm on the last test, final answer and my last guess. Wonder what I gotta pass next. I'm on my last quest, so much harder than my last track. Mad blessed, hope I can outlast death. Grim Reaper got my address, down on my last cent. Cash spent from a check I don't even have yet. My last rent, sweating shit has got me mad stressed. I inherited my dad's debt, never got to hear his last breath. And the only reason I ain't passed yet, I'm the first ever and the last left. I let the record show, I let the tech explode. Put up the weapon, pull up the Texaco, Narcos in Mexico, call up the technical, they know the text blow. Shot that I'm Plexico, turn you to vegetable, body electrical, acid and alkaline, body so flexible. The shooter's feast like a Uber Eats, got a group of these scooter bees, but letting the Uzi and Ruger speak. An American got up in Cuba eats. The powers they seek and powers the weak, they follow and creeps. Powers that be inherit the world from cowards and sheep. Ship to the mountaintop towers and peaks, flowers and sweets and shower their feet. The lightning and thunder that shower the sleep, shower the deeds. It's not a verse, it's our receipts. What would I do with my last breath? Would I yell? Would I cry? Would I laugh? Cause I'm glad that I'm past that mess. Till I pass, never felt that blessed. Even bad breath when you living is better than good breath. When you lack flesh, got a glass chest that I cracked and my lost breath hasn't made it back yet. I'm on my last breath, walking the last step. I'm on the last test, final answer and my last guess. Wonder what I gotta pass next. I'm on my last quest, so much harder than my last track. Mad blessed, hope I can outlast death. Grim Reaper got my address, down on my last cent. Cash spent from a check I don't even have yet from my last rent. Sweater shit has got me mad stressed. I inherited my dad's debt, never got to hear his last breath. And the only reason I ain't passed yet, I'm the first ever and the last left. It's like a track finish, I attract women, they the bad women. I'ma splash in them, leave a bag with them. Then I raise seeds to be mad different. If I die now, I'm coming back in them. Cause they dad missing, but they cash dripping. Cause they royalty, so they brag different. Ain't no ass kissing, never had feelings. Seen a white victim and a black witness. Mac gripping on my last mission. Yak sipping, blowing blackism. Gat missing, he was lack slipping. Smack hit him, now we act different. Apparition, the bad vision. The Mac a chip him and crash the system. Uncle Tom, cause you that willing. Fuck the law, I'm going back to living. Astral prisms of black religions. Activisms of conversations. Sacrilegious, the palms of Satan. Black magicians, Babylon erasing. Raise our hands to God we praising. Hustling, the marathon we racing. Nipsey at the finish line, he waiting. What would I do with my last breath? Would I yell? Would I cry? Would I laugh? Cause I'm glad that I'm past that mess. Till I pass, never felt that blessed. Even bad breath when you living is better than good breath. When you lack flesh, got a glass chest that I cracked and my lost breath hasn't made it back yet. I'm on my last breath, walking the last step. I'm on the last test, final answer and my last guess. Wonder what I gotta pass next. I'm on my last quest, so much harder than my last track. Mad blessed, hope I can outlast death. Grim Reaper got my address, down on my last cent. Cash spent from a check I don't even have yet from my last rent. Sweater shit has got me mad stressed. I inherited my dad's debt, never got to hear his last breath. And the only reason I ain't passed yet, I'm the first ever and the last left.
That there is Last Breath off of the Holy Ghost 2 album, Brother Cambada featuring Red Pill and Blue Pill. Make sure you get your make sure that streams into 2020. Make sure you take that. That's an instant classic right there. And you know, the hook is called Last Breath, And that's talking about, you know, your last breath, doing it up until your last minute, doing it up until it's time to, you know, in the to tap into that marathon right there, to cross the finish line. You know what I'm saying? So that's a very appropriate song for a time such as this, you know, especially with what me and Blue is going through right now, sending off our day one brother by the name of Bernard Lawhorn, all right? In the streets, we knew him as Poop Man, right? Don't he look like Dr. Manhattan? He'd be Dr. Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? This is Dr. Brooklyn right here. You know what I mean? You got Dr. Manhattan. Now this is Dr. Brooklyn. That's how well known he was in the borough of Brooklyn. It's not just a Flatbush thing. Poop Man is well known. His name is legendary. You'll hear about him in your urban stories, you know, down the line. Because we're gonna tell his story. We're gonna tell it. And, you know, he is an American god. You know what I'm talking about? He's an urban legend, and urban legends are American gods. And it doesn't have, I mean, he looks like a version of a Dr. Manhattan, especially after he made transition. Poop Man died, this brother here, on December 4th, right? He made transition on December 4th, right? The same person who made transition on December 4th, right? Not born on December 4th, but the same person who made transition on December 4th was Fred Hampton, okay? Who was a community activist, who was also in the streets, same thing as this brother right here, who was well loved by people from all races and nationalities, same thing like this brother right here, who had all the potential in the world to be to be somebody who would significantly make things, you know, would have shifted things for the people right here. And that also is the same day of Jay-Z's birthday, right? But the brother's born on June 15th, 76. He's a Gemini. The same time as a Tupac. He's actually born the day before Tupac. Tupac is June 16th. He's born June 15th. Anybody that knows this brother in the whole borough of Brooklyn and around the world, because he's globally known, they'll tell you that he had Tupac energy. You dig what I'm saying? So, Poop Man, we laid him to rest on 12/12, right? On a Gemini moon. It's called a long moon, the cold moon. We laid him to his wake. Not laid him to rest, his wake. They had cars all around. You know, I don't even got to tell you what it was. On 12/12. And then on Friday the 13th is the day that his funeral. And we didn't put the casket in the ground. By request of the family, they didn't lower his casket into the ground and allowed everybody to exit the cemetery before they did such. And I appreciated that. You know, that was significant. But we celebrated the life of somebody who celebrated life. We celebrated the life of a brother whose heart was so huge for his people and for babies in particular. Because when it comes to the babies, that it takes away the excuses that people have to not help people, because babies are, it doesn't matter what party they are voting for, if it's Bernie or, the other person, So he was there for his people. He was there for his family. He was there for his team. He was one of the best in the field that he was in, and I was in the streets, But this brother was a very good brother. The way that the brother even made transition is spiritual in nature. It's considered to be a diabetic, stroke. That's not even conclusive as to what happened. but the brother was in his car, and then the next minute the brother was not in his car. I mean, the brother was in his car, but in the next minute, he lost consciousness, and he never regained consciousness and made his transition. But when I saw the brother laying there in his casket, still looking young, you know what I'm talking about? Still clean, still fresh, you know, um, no blemishes on his record, you know, uh, three children, all of them beautiful, all of them, just like him, you know, millions of people who are there who know what this brother has done and contributed and will keep his name forever alive. And I'm like, yo, we all have a day, and I'm not going to tell anybody what day is the right day to be or the right day to pick, or I can never say, I'm not going to include myself into that conversation because, that's too personal. But when it happens, it happens. And it seems as if this brother has a higher purpose in a higher place or higher realm. And they basically, the brother was, he was borrowed, he was on borrowed time. You know what they say in the streets, like going out bad? You know, the stigmata behind going out bad. You know the stigmata behind when you check out and how you check out versus if you got killed or murdered or if you died. Those are three categories, you know? Those are three categories that are separate for a reason, you know? So, and then there's ascended. Then there's ascended. That's a protected class. That's a special category. When people is like, yo, did you hear about so and so? Yeah. Did you hear that he ascended? Be like, oh, really? Good luck. You know, good for him. And then there's the other thing, like, yo, you heard about so and so? That nigga got bodied, Joe. He got murdered. And then you get into this whole first 48, all of the gory details. We turn into Wes Craven. You feel me? Stephen King. A little bit of Spielberg, sprinkling some Hype Williams. Okay, boom, boom, right? So then, right? You know how niggas in Brooklyn, especially like in Bed-Stuy, in Flatbush, the Flatbush mind them, they'll put on a whole show. So I know that the ancestors are with this brother. His purpose here is so heavy that the blow hasn't even finished expanding in certain people's universe, minds especially, you know. So at this moment, you know what I'm saying? Like at this time, I'm definitely in that state. So, you know, that's just my testament. But at the end of the day, this whole weekend, like this whole experience has been something that's like an eye opener. Not it's an eye opener on so many levels, but one of the levels that I could really point to is that one of the things that funerals and wakes and deaths do is that it brings together those who will never come together, or not never come together, because it's not like they're obliged to do such, but it brings people together from you know that whole experience, which is life. And to see people who I haven't seen in 30 years, 40 years almost, you know what I'm talking about? 20 years, 25 years, 5 years, 10 years, 12 years. It's crazy. And the beautiful thing about it, you know, it's as if we never, like, nothing never stopped. Like the conversation picks right up where it left off. And one of the things that I could say, and I can't say this about everything in life, but People that I was seeing was looking like everybody looked like they was 18 years old. You know what I'm talking about? Like the majority of the people that I was seeing, I'm thinking I'm young looking, I'm all have braggadocio. I'm looking at my people, like people that I came up with. I can't speak for everybody. But the 70s babies and some, the 80s babies and the early run, they got, they're preserving themselves. I just cause like the street niggas, the majority of the people that I was seeing, people is still they still well preserved. It did not look like, it almost looked like we was in the same, like we was, it looked like Frozen 3. It looked like Frozen 3. Everybody was mummified. And I got to dispel the myth that you got to get locked up to get mummified. Cause that's some hood shit. The hood, they a good bid to slow you down. You know what I'm saying, young buck. Put some years back on you. That wear and tear in the concrete jungle. 3 hots in the cot, some Jack Mac. You know what I'm saying? Give you some years back. You ain't jumping in and out of them cat boxes. I'm like, no, nigga, I don't gotta go to jail in order to stay looking young. Because I'm seeing people who didn't do a bid. I don't want to talk about the others because that's inappropriate. But there's a large percentage of the people that I came up with who was, they holding on. You know what I'm saying? You know, it was a beautiful thing. Like, I come from royalty. The people that I came up with, all of us are planets and stars and universes onto ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm surrounded by greatness. That's beyond a reasonable doubt. And another thing that was an eye opener is how much people from the streets is fucking with the movement, with this consciousness. Like, you know, men lie, women lie, them numbers don't. You know what I mean? And those thousands of numbers, it's the trenches. You know what I'm saying? Sitting back, you know, getting this information and really making this thing do what it does. Like, if there was ever a mafia, it's in Brooklyn, and these people are tuned in to they tuned into some real street stuff. Like, they tuned into the information. Cause the people who was telling me that they see me and my brother, and they not just watching us. I don't think so, but they tapped in. So if they tapped in, then everybody's tapped in. Or it's just if that means anything, you know what I mean? Because it really don't mean nothing to me. I just feel like it's enough people that's tapped in, but it's time to make something tap out. You know what I mean? Everybody tapped in, so why the ops ain't tapping out? You know, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Niggas in the Pee Wee leagues with the numbers. You know, but the ingredients is in the kitchen. Bumpy and Malcolm, they in the kitchen together. I'm here to let you know, okay? Bumpy and Malcolm is in the kitchen together, ready to cook. The streets and the motherfucking bookworms. The trenches and the trench coats. They getting to know one another. Cause it's not cool to be dumb no more. You know what I'm saying? I told you before, consciousness is the new black. Talk black to me. Somebody should have told you that. And Moors, don't interrupt this one. Okay? Let it go. Let this one go through. Consciousness is the new black. Remember, and this is what we're going to talk about in American Gods 3. Now, if you clicked onto this video thinking that the presentation is going to take place tonight, I'm here to let you know that you're a victim of clickbait. That's not what's going. That's not what we're doing. We're gonna just talk about that. The link is here. The event is coming up January 4th. American Gods 3, and the reason why we have the blue god, right? The blue god, or the blue is nothing. Yeah, no other word to say but it. But the blue god, Dr. Manhattan, who the writers on the TV series Watchmen decided this was a decision that they decided to depict the black man, right, as a god who has amnesia, okay, an agreed upon amnesia, who's walking the earth, right, who's Hiram Abiff. He's in a tomb, right? He's in a tomb. He has amnesia. He's a god, though. He's Dr. Manhattan, atom split, and gamma ray type of god who could have won any one of the wars that America fought. A straight god. But he's in the body of a white man now. And he don't he's as the black man, the pineal is decalcified. Remember, the pineal. So we uh we want to definitely thank the writers for doing whatever they did in that TV show, because it makes the information, you know, it makes the information do what it do. It makes, it paints the picture. So we're gonna get into a lot of that on January 4th, though, when we break down the American Gods 3. And we're gonna talk about more than just that. We're gonna cover things that happened in the 2019 Jubilee year. Remember, this year was a very monumental year. This year, things that happened this year will resonate for many years into the future. When you think back on the pivotal role that 2009 had in your life, or when you think back on the pivotal role that 1989 or 99 had in your life, then you'll understand the importance of the 9 years, you know. And this year is no different, you know what I mean? So we're gonna go over some of the prophecies, what were the godlike events that took place in 2019? Not the gossip, not the BS, not the frivolous media circus and whatnot. No, celestial events. What took place in this calendar year that we need to put on record. So we're gonna have some of that in American Gods 3. But before, I don't want to jump ahead of myself. Before we even get to that, coming up on December the 21st, okay, in the DMV, Baltimore to be exact. I myself, Brother Red Pill, and my brother Wesley Muhammad, we're going to be at the Pleasant Hope Baptist Church, which is 430 East Belvedere Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland, 21212. All right, from the hours of 7 p.m. to 10 p.m., Saturday, December 21st. The title of our lecture is going to be The Weaponization of Hip Hop. What's next? The weaponization of hip hop. What's next? All right. And as you do know, the brother goes very extensive into detail about the government's chemical warfare through marijuana, alcohol, and other controlled substances. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to touch on aesthetic nihilism as part of the culture, as a part of an aesthetic, as part of something that it's not coming or it's not on the way. It's something that the youth, and it's something that others in our culture, many of, it's not just youth orientated, because the youth are the ones who are in control of the music industry. So by them being in control of music, they're in control of your thought patterns. They're in control of how you dress. They're in control of many different things, because teenagers, you know what I mean? 18 and 19-year-olds are at the helms of dictating music. There's periods in time where there's case studies to show when the youth, when children, when babies, people who are not well experienced through, not to take anything away from an 18 or 19-year-old's musical genius, spirits, timeless spirits, ageless spirits, or any of that, right? All I'm saying is, the when that's the case, it's different than when you know there are musicians that are doing it from a more seasoned, veteran type of standpoint. You know, yeah, there's something that comes with living. There's an experience that comes with living. Yeah, they haven't lived yet, and you can't read about it. You can't Netflix and chill it away. You know what I mean? You can't go to college and learn it all the time. You have to live it. Gotta live it. And one of the beautiful things about this culture and one of the beautiful things about music is that as artists mature and as artists evolve and as artists grow and as they experience life, and they can't just say, well, I was rapping about catching bodies and chopping up babies and, kicking down doors and sleeping with other men's women or wives and whatnot because I was just a teenager and I was sipping on lean. I didn't know that this shit was from formaldehyde. I didn't know that it was I didn't know all of the things that it was doing in my brain. I was popping beans. I just thought that because the multi-billion-dollar record industries, Clear Channel, and all of these publicly traded, companies, if they were signing over multi-millions of dollars to these impoverished black youth and these children, these talented children, and I thought that that was the way to go because they play it on the daytime, and they teach me in school that anything that they play on the radio in the daytime is something I'm supposed to do. That's how children reason sometimes, you know. So it's just a big okay, and it's like you're trying to convince them that that's not what it is, and no, it's the corporations are evil, and no, you don't understand, but they don't really, and you looking mad goofy. Disney Plus, little niggas looking at you like Disney Plus, like this is the goof truth. Look at Goofy right here, guys. You know, and they don't want to hear that shit. So what's a dad to do? You know, what's a dad to do? You know, you just turn on Disney Plus and you be quiet. But I'm telling you, man, it's deep, man. Shit goes deep. That's why, and that goes back to what I've said before, and I'm gonna continue to say it because I don't think saying it. I think we don't say it enough, but we collectively, not I, not you, but we collectively. It's the collective endeavor. Animation, cartoons, and programmable learning um, content for 1 month all the way up to about 10, no, all the way up to a teenager, and then a more enhanced version. But we need to be in charge of the content, the cartoons, the animation, the fantasy, the magic, right? The real programming. This is the sorcery. It's the cartoons. It's the whole Jesuit concept of giving them your children until they're 7 years old, giving them the ability to shape and mold them. Yeah, nigga, that's Comedy Central. I believe that's Nickelodeon and a few Disney people and some other wizards who are behind the scenes putting some things together And they got little children falling in love with pigs and some other things. I'm just saying, I'm not gonna, it's some other stuff that goes on. They are showing Europeans as being the ones who control the elements, the four elements, which translates to witchcraft or black or magic, right? Or spirituality. They spin it to spirituality, you know. All of these things, all of these concepts, all of these subliminals, all of this stuff that, we don't even have time to explain because it's already been explained. The babies need to see not just representations of them. They need to see representations of a future that doesn't need to look like them. It could look like something completely different. But as I watch the Netflix series, there was a Netflix series about toys. They're giving you the backstory of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, My Little Pony, right? All of these toys. They're giving you the backstory. They're going into the most important part of any brand, and that's its origin. That's the backstory. You know what I'm talking about? They're giving you the big data. So I'm listening to all of these stories, and I'm like, one thing that I find in common with these stories is a few things. That this shit didn't work out at first, right? Yeah, Transformers and G.I. Joe. I didn't see that episode. I'm looking for that one. One, it didn't start out as a success. Two, they kept trying. Three, they hit a fucking lick, bro. That's what happens. That's called perseverance. You know what I mean? That's called R&D, research and development. That's called digging in where I'm from. You know what I'm talking about? So what I see is trial and error, research and development, filling a void, and doing some things that make sense. So that is a multi-billion-dollar market. What's the name of that show? The name of the show is The Toys That I think it's The Toys That Made Us, or something like that. You know? But a few of those episodes, all of the episodes that I saw in that was dope. They had one about the wrestling dolls. The Toys That Made Us is the name of the show on Netflix. Go and check that out. That's good, and that's good information. And it's nostalgia. Me personally, I need nostalgia. I like nostalgia. This, you know what I mean? I done been through so much stuff. I've experienced so much that nostalgia it helps rewind the tape. You know? That, some people wasn't even born when some of this stuff is being shown, so it doesn't mean much to you. Me, on the other hand, this shit is my life. You know? It's my Truman Show. When I saw the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle episode, I was like, oh shit, I remember getting caught in the craze. You know? My boosting craze. If there's a boosting Mount Rushmore, nigga, we gonna be up there. And I ain't talking about Boost Mobile either, or those Adidas. My boosting craze started with G.I. Joes, and I think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's a fact. You know what I'm talking about? That's where it started. It was insatiable. And look where it took me. You know? It started with the G.I. Joes. I'm telling y'all. The collection was heavy. You know what I'm saying? Word got back to the hood that Toys R Us was giving it up. We had an executive meeting. This was early Flatbush days. You know, You gotta be from Flatbush to understand even where I'm going with this. Disclaimer, don't judge me. You know what I'm talking about? Don't judge me. We wasn't bad children. You know what I mean? We wasn't latchkey children. We wasn't snot noses. You feel me? Niggas wasn't hungry. We heard it was sweet at Toys R Us, and we tried their jaws. Guess what? They wasn't sweet, but it fed the sweet tooth, and we went back and we scored, nigga, and it's been on ever since. You know. And then it turned into comic books. It mutated into comic books. No, I'm not snitching. Don't worry about it. I checked out with the heat. I checked out with my Hebrew lawyers, and they told me that the time has passed. You know what I'm saying? 7-year window, baby. I was like 7. No, I'm just playing. I was like probably 13. I was probably 13. You know, we was a different 13. My son is 12 right now. I was a different 12. You know what I mean? I'm not here to judge that young man. He could do no wrong in my eyes. I was a different 12. And I was sure I was definitely a different 13. You know what I'm talking about? I was definitely a different 13. By the time I was mid 13, it was over. I hopped off the porch. Poop man caught us. He was there when I hopped off the porch. We was in a posse together. You know, called MGP. We was in a posse. It was over after that. You know. It was over after that. That's why Sony and Microsoft, Bill Gates' little ass, and whoever else made video games. Yeah, MGP out of Flatbush. That was the posses. Before they had gangs in New York, they had posses. I'm giving away my age. This is the 80s, right? Posses were that's the 80s going into real early 90s. Then it turns into other things. Then it turns into Bloods, which are gangs, you know. But before, in the middle of posses and the gangs, you got sets. Well, not really sets. You got crews. My bad, crews. That's the drug dealing shit. That's when niggas had crews and whatnot. That wasn't no posse. Like, the posse started breaking up, and that wasn't no gang shit. That was the drug crews. That was cliques. That's right. That was cliques. And then when it turned into gang, I don't know if the gang shit meshes well with they were doing with the cliques and the crews. Because the cliques and the crews, either they got all locked up or they evolved into some other shit, into the families, you know? But the squads, you know, it's an evolving, the Decepticons would be considered the end of the posse era. So the posses dissolved into the Decepticons. I won't say the Decepticons was a gang in the sense that they may have been. I won't call lowlifes a gang. They weren't a gang. So you had posses, the rise of the posses in Flatbush. Then it turned into mainly like either you was a low life, the low lives, or you know, I was in G-Force. I'm not a low life. I'm G-Force. So we had drama with the low lives, but we also got money with them as well. You had Ralphie's kids. You know, you had all different kind of sections of, and you had different sections of low lives too. You had the Brownsville ones. You had the Crown Heights ones. Rack Low, Thurston Howell Th3rd. It was a lot of them. Rest in peace to Raisin. Rest in peace Kiki, the Legends. You know, so these low lives, and then you had the Decepticons. So low lives would be the ones who are mostly hitting up the Polo Mansion, Macy's. You know, sticking it to the man. sticking it to the man. Miracle on 34th Street. You know, you might as well call that Caesar's Palace. Because there was a jackpot coming out of there every day. You know what I'm talking about? You might as well call that Caesar's Palace. Because niggas was hitting jackpots left and right. That might as well have been a Native American casino. Because they was hitting a jackpot. You know what I'm talking about? We would hit the balcony with the polo. I'm talking about Polo Heaven. Canal Street. Ain't nobody going to Canal Street. What's over there? Talking about Canal Street. The canal shit came after the boosting shit died. That's not honorable, selling knockoffs. Not like that. I mean, it is now. Because now you have certain product that's not even considered knockoff. It's just not considered to be, it fell off of the back of the truck. Or it came out of the factory. They have the factory open from 9 to 5. Well, these items came out of the factory from 5 to 9. But it's the same items. So, shit, if you selling those, you're a legend. Don't ever let nobody make you feel bad or ashamed. Don't let a nigga, boost shame you. Don't ever let nobody ever, Canal Street shame you. Get it how you live. In those cases, shit, you doing somebody a favor. Spending all that goddamn money, all them thousands of dollars on a bag made out of vinyl. Really? Here, hold this shit right here from Lebanon. You know what I'm talking about? Hold this Gucci bag from Vietnam, my friend. Hold this bag from Bosnia. Nah, that's a lick. Don't let nobody fool you. Don't let nobody fool you. You're going to be the fool, and then you're going to realize when it's all too late. That's what people were doing the whole time. It's not called bootlegging. It's called being able to have the right plug. And then they flood it with all of this cheap stuff and make you think that that's what it is. But, the whole world is a knockoff, if that's the case. The thing is, this is why they're big mad. Because they used to be the middleman, and they are not the middleman anymore. That is why they're big mad. There's nothing else to say. They know when they sit on them planes, niggas that don't look like them is on those planes. And they running back, snitching, telling big whoever, yo, these niggas is catching on. And they're in these cities in Asia, whether it be, Hong Kong, China, they know that they're not, that they know that people are catching the game. It's all a game. Like I said before, learn about the Matrix. Learn about whatever. Learn about this system, this game that you're playing. Know that there's a lot of blinds that they're giving you in this game, that you think you playing this shit by the rules. You playing a whole nother game, a trick game, a decoy game. You know what I'm talking about? They ain't give you the cheat code, nigga. They gave you the beat code. They gave you the code to make you that you beat yourself. It's a con. Yeah, learn the con soul. They're conning you with the switcheroo. They're conning you with giving you this malware. They're conning you with giving you the wrong code. They're conning you with giving you this fucking algorithm to tell you, yo, do this, go into debt, get the job, da-da-da-da-da, give us your life, give us some time in the army, da-da-da-da-da, we'll get you a house, we'll get you a charger, da-da-da-da, we'll get you an Obama phone. You know what I mean? Go to Vietnam. We got you niggas when you come back. You know, oh my goodness, what's wrong with these people? Why are they bugging out? Why do you need a house from us? All of this stuff, all of this, the way that they, you know, the way that they took people's pensions and everything and put them on a 401k, all of this swindling, all of this stuff. They showed you in The Irishman what they did to Jimmy Hoffa, how they broke the unions, how they broke the protection of the workers, how they broke the goddamn pensions, how they broke all of that and robbed them. And then and they ushered in this slave-like system on people where you can't even get your goddamn tooth fixed. This is a very crooked, backwards, upside down, you know, dishonest, unloyal, mafioso, you know, influenced. Then people from over there influenced, because you know about these new restrictions, right? So a lot of things are at play. And what needs to be at play is the playmakers. And who are the playmakers? You the playmakers. You call the plays. And you run them. And that's a good thing. You better study homeboy in Baltimore and learn how to move like a black bird or raven. Because things are beginning to fall apart and crumble and collapse. And if you in the way, you just in the way. You know? You just in the way. But those that are moving with the, you know, listening to the, and you know, tapping into the magnetic fields, moving with that right energy, moving, you know, listening to your third eye, just moving the way that you're supposed to move, navigating, you know, following your heart, following the charge. Salute to you. First union started by black men. You feel me? You see what's going on here? Do we realize the extent of what took place in places like the Rust Belt, which is Detroit, Cleveland, all up and down, when they collapsed all of the factories, when they shipped out all of the work, when they destroyed the middle class, when they gutted the middle class, when they pulled the plug on the middle class, when they sabotaged the middle class, when they destroyed the middle class, when they took out the unions, and when they took out manufacturing, when they took out production, when they took out producing, when they took out people being the head of the household and manning up and being in control and buying up property, buying up houses, all of that. Pension plans and all of that money that they owed. And they flipped that shit. And they gave niggas the 401k, then they snatched it in '08 and other times. And the money is fake, and inflation is fake, and it's backed by nothing once again. And people are walking around as if it's gonna be stable, and you trust these people, and you put these people, you know, above everyone else. So by knowing all of these things, we have to say to ourselves, okay, that's cool. Shit. We ain't gonna lose sleep over that. That's a chess move. So what's the move that you come with that's gonna make that make sense? You take this shit global. There's nothing else to talk about. It's a cold, cold world, but it's warmer and it's warmer once you leave this climate. Nigga, it's global warming. It's global warming. So it's time to tap into a global market and have a global mind state and become globally connected and understand the power of what your culture is and the richness and the wealth and the vastness of it and make it translate and do what it do and open up doors and close doors and take you places that you've never thought because it's a key. It's a key. And the power of the culture, and when I speak about the culture, I'm going to be very basic because I like to keep it plain. I don't have to get uh I don't have to go as far as just naming the 5 pillars of hip hop because hip hop is an exportable, viable, commodifiable, spiritual culture. And one of the pillars of the culture is MCing. You have the choice to MC utilizing a plethora and a myriad of styles and flows. You understand? You, as the user, you could tap into multiple. You could do something called slam. You can freestyle. You can battle rap. You could flow double time. You could do anything that you want. Then the other pillar of the culture, right? And if just doing that could take you into subway stations, it could take you on to stages. Cause don't laugh if I say subway stations if somebody hears that, because some of the greatest people who you consider to be some of the greatest musicians had their version of a subway station where they started at. If it was standing in front of empty garbage cans with the fire coming out of them, doing the blues and whatnot, Louis Armstrong and some of these other people, Billie Holiday's come up story. Like everybody has the subway station version of their story. So you come from the proverbial gutter, the underworld, the subway station. Then you work your way up to the stage. You rub on the wood, pause at the Apollo, the tree stump, right? You get on a stage somewhere. Usually in this culture, the way that the culture was set up, the Apollo was the stomping. That was that stage. That was the stage to be on. Then from being a street performer, you're a stage performer. From a stage performer, you're on the studios. You're in a studio performer. From a studio performer, you become studio. You're making the album. You're making new singles. You're making hits or whatever, and then you go on the road. And by going on the road and by going on tour, and then you hit the big screen with either videos, you hit the big screen with a movie, you hit the big screen in some sense where you go up in lights, cameras, action, right? That's the making of a star. It's a process. This thing don't happen overnight. Niggas be wishing upon a star to stumble into some stardom and whatnot. Niggas want to wake up famous, They want to wake up lit. Yeah, Kiki Shepard was that. Kiki was her, you know. Homegirl with the wig on the front row, she was super lit too. You know what I'm talking about? She was super lit. God forbid you was on stage and she was on her seat, nigga. Cause she was dancing to everything. She was, ooh wee. Yeah. One thing about Harlem, I don't know what the fuck is in the water, but them some dancing ass people, boy. They come up with some dances out there, boy. I'll tell you, them niggas dance. They dance. What's good, Nestro? Yeah, so we ain't gonna be super long tonight. I had to hop in on a Saturday. We had it was a very, did you see the moon this week? That was 12:12, and this moon popped out at 12:12 a.m., right? It was called the cold moon or the long moon, the last moon for 2019, the whole decade, right? It was a powerful moon. It put me into retrospection. Um, I was in a very fearful state because if there was a wake the next day, and you know, I was still in disbelief as to the fact that I lost my day one. I was still, I'm gonna tell you, I was off my pivot. Like that knocked me off of my square. That shit. When I heard the news, it felt like Deontay Wilder hit me with the swift right. It hit me. I felt something like when my brother called me like 1:32 in the morning, and when he told me the poop man died, that shit hit me like a Dante Wilder, a clean right, boom, and something in my chest, like last breath type shit. The Cambada, like Cambada saying in the hook and last breath, like a breath came out of me that never came back inside of me, you know. And from that point on, I was off my pivot because the brother, he features prominently in my life story in ways that is unexplainable on a blog, on a podcast. Just the way that his story's interwoven in my story. You know what I mean? Like it's really closely knit. And his passing closed the book. It was a bookmarking to a magnificent run that started when as 2020 comes in and this 2019 thing winds up, like this is the ending of an era. This is the ending of an era. This, yeah, you know what I mean? Like you're entering into a whole new era, right? So the way things are ending, the way things are winding down, the way that the universe is speaking to me, the great divine speaks through signs, and I'm looking at what the universe is saying. I'm listening to the language. Keep in mind, me and his brother were in constant talks about documenting each one of our lives, or to begin a documentary on the 90s legends and whatnot. You know, the ones who came, the ones who survived. You know, it's a lot of us. It's not just red pill and blue pill. Like I say, don't ever think and don't try to claim us for yourself, or don't ever try to, don't do the fake tug of war type shit, cause I'm not trying to hear that. We're not here for that. You know, one of the things that I know and I've observed, because I'm a very observant person, especially as a Scorpio. We study death to an extent to learn about life. One thing that I've learned by being at wakes and funerals, that yeah, people who you met in life, they're gonna show up, they're gonna pop up. And people who you impacted in your life, some people might catch a flight, a lot of people won't, you know. But the people who are guaranteed to show up, other than your family, because your family's guaranteed to show up, they're always gonna fill up the front row. Especially if unless it's a very small family, like short on the family members. You know what I'm saying? But your day ones, people who you went to elementary school with, people who knew you from when your name was Lulu or whatever, before you had your 8 name changes, before the Dominican Republic got to know you and sent you home with a fatty, before all of these things happened, these niggas who knew everything about you, they're going to be the ones that are going to bury you. That's a fact. It's going to be your day ones. The people who you went to school with are always going to be there to bury you. They're going to be there. So I hold in high regards a protected class of people, a very fucking unique class of people who I cannot change. I can't move it around. Nigga, somebody, you can't follow me on Instagram and become one of them. You can't join the group, nigga. You know what I mean? Like there's a selective group of day ones that I'm loyal to and I will never cross because we always are gonna see each other because we have to bury each other. You understand? We're responsible for each other and I would never do them dirty. And even if these niggas do you dirty, you forgive each other at events like this. I'm telling you, it's the ones who started out with you. They are going to show up at the end. And everybody else is going to be fly by night, my nigga. Don't have any hard feelings. You know what I'm talking about? Because Poop Man was loved by many. And even though that place was packed, it was hundreds of people that I know personally supposed to have been there that did not show up. There's people that we know that's locked up that's supposed to be there and didn't show up. So I'm guessing these days with social media, they send one nigga to represent 1,000 followers. Or they send one nigga to represent 1,000 other niggas who knew you through that nigga. Send flowers, my nigga. Niggas that send flowers in a Guinness. This is my world. This is what I want to tell people right now so we don't get this fucked up. Let anything ever happen to me. If I touched you, my nigga, pause. Like no. Super pause, pregnant pause. If I did something for you, if I painted your house, you know what I'm talking about? If I sold you a half-price sweater, new nigga, you know what I'm talking about? If I helped you with your drip, nigga, if I turned on your faucet, if I fed you a red pill with a glass of water, you know what I'm talking about? Cuddling you, nigga, and getting you out the matrix, not just yanking you out that bitch. If I gave you some Kings County drip, if I did anything for you, this is my request, nigga. Every single one of y'all. If I don't ask you for anything, the last day that I'm here, you make sure that you fucking pull up, B. I don't care if they have the service in El Segundo, nigga. Get a horse. We'll send a shuttle. But that's the only day that really matters right now. It's that last fucking day. You know what I mean? More specifically, when a nigga go into the ground. But I'm debating about cremation and all kind of other things. You know what I mean? You know. But that wake, the part where I lay in state before they bury me next to Dr. Sabi the Great, nigga, when I lay in state, pull the fuck up, nigga, like it's alive, nigga, as if they was like I was on live. Pull up. I need my shit to cause gridlock. That's my only request. You don't got to come and see me at a lecture, nigga. You don't got to pop up when I pop up at a pop-up. You know what I mean? That's not your obligation. But on some G shit, my nigga, if you really don't want to be haunted by the kid, because you know I come in dreams, nigga. Yeah. I pop up like Freddy on your ass. You know, all I'm saying is, you know what I'm saying? With my seeds, who knew what the fuck I had to sacrifice to feed niggas like the Cantonese nigga, to always be at the soup kitchen feeding niggas on YouTube and all of the other tubes before they censored me and told me that I can't feed you GMO, that I can't feed you plant-based. After December 10th, I could only feed you GMO on YouTube because of the censorship. They don't even want me to give you all of the food. They want me to censor it. Yeah, I'm a notorious astral traveler. I will see you. I could find you niggas in your sleep. And I got hitters, Leonardo and these niggas from Inception. We'll plant some shit into your subconsciousness. Have you walking down 2/5 with a Birkin bag and some Louis Vuittons, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Niggas are plant a moist napkin into your subconsciousness, and then you wake up wanting to put on some heels, nigga. You know, that type of shit. I got a moon in Aries. Did I remind you niggas of this? Yeah, my moon is in Aries. I didn't come to play. But no jokes aside, I need everybody to stop anything that they're doing that day and make it a thug holiday. That's it. That's it. I don't go around shaking no cups. You know, I haven't done a crowdfunding in a long time. I don't ask nobody for nothing. But the two most important days, the first day, y'all wasn't around for that. Y'all was the first two most important days when I come here and when I leave. Unfortunately, it was Mama Pill, Papa Pill, Blue Pill, and Red Pill, and the Kiba, my sister. And that was the only ones I think that was there at that moment when we made our grand appearance, when we made our, when we pulled up. But the day that I'm gone, nigga, you know what I'm saying? Nipsey was in a Staples Center, you know. Shit. I'm looking for Wembley's or something. I don't know. But I want to, do it right. And I want my shit in the temple. We don't do mega churches. We good. No offense at all, I promise you. But me personally, I like the Staples Center. That felt good to me. Surround sound, my nigga. Play Scorpion King, twin the album, some selective cuts, all my dark shit. You know what I mean? Just give me the best of Red Pillar, all of that Darth Vader shit, Temple of Darth, turn the lights out. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, definitely a few decades from now. The whole catalog though. I'm talking about when I'm 100. But I said it today. It don't matter whenever it is. I make sure that I said it today. Don't get caught up in the, you know, the other shit. But that episode on American Gods, I mean not American Gods, on Watchmen, where Dr. Manhattan, that's a the episode's title is A God Walks Into a Bar. Go and check that out. Definitely check that out. You know. But yeah, we're going to do a review of 2019 as well. That's going to be separate of the We're going to review the years in American Gods 3 lecture, but we're also going to do a show, a podcast, where we're going to be breaking down the year. So look out for that. That's coming up very soon. You know, that's coming up very soon. So that's going to be powerful. I want y'all to really reflect about this year before it's over, because we go so fast that we don't give ourselves time to rewind our minds and really take a toll as to how many tolls we paid. What happened, who did you meet this year, what bridges were built, what bridges were burned, right? What all of these things, what victories were accomplished. Where are you at in your victory lap? We made all of these promises to Nipsey. You know what I'm saying? That's the goal right there. The show is sponsored by Blue Pillars Gold Water. All right. Y'all need that in your life. Y'all definitely need that in your life. Oh, somebody said this was a great year. They found us this year. Oh yeah, that's definitely a great year. You know, why don't y'all put in the chat room what year did y'all find red pill and blue pill? Because that's interesting data right there. I would love to take a survey and find out when that was. Can children drink it? Of course. 2015, 2017, 2015, 2011 Blog Talk, 2016, 2010, 2019, 11, 18, 16. Okay, through shifters. All right, 19. Okay. This is a version of roll call. We're gonna do the year that you found out about red pill and blue pill. What year did we make acquaintance? Because these are things that I wouldn't know unless I ask. (2013), okay. 2019, 15, 10, 17, 12, 13, 9, 2011, okay. 12, 13, 13, 14, all right. 14, 15, oh, 2005, 2010, 2016, 11, after watching Phil Valentine, dope. 2011, 2016, 2016, Blog Talk, 2015, 2012, Doggy Diamonds, no doubt, 2017, 16, 10, 2011, 2K14, 11/11 Meditation, Forbes DVD, Brother Rich, 2015, 2014, 2010, 2017.
Love Talk Radio.
Charles Hamilton video. 2015 with Sinetta. Yes.
Love Talk Radio.
That's the Blog Talk Radio thing.
I want y'all to see this like film.
Yeah, I got my archives is crazy. I listen to these shows and I feel like crying sometimes. There's so much history in each show. Like to hear Dr. Sebi talking with so much life, what his plans were, his visions. To hear Dr. Blair breaking things down. These shows is classics. Hit him with the bomb, right? Yeah, we got to bring the bombs back. Black Dot jacked me for my bomb. That was one of my favorite MCs, Jay Electronica.
I spit that Wonderama shit, nigga my conglomerates shall remain anonymous, caught up in the finest shit. Get that type of media coverage Obama get, spit that Kurt Vonnegut shit. That blow your brain, Kurt Cobain, that Nirvana shit. We'll bring the game back. We'll spit that rainbow on the train tracks that goes with that 5-finger ring rap. Running with my same pack, to find the Christ where the lepers and the lanes at. Life is like a dice game. One roll can land you in jail or cutting cake, blowing kisses in the rice rain. Nice whip, nice chain, because of the stalls. The stench is like slave blood and Providence Hall. Yeah, Annie's where they at, get the gag was a popular phrase. Manly animals and rugbers was a popular craze. This is vivid memoirs of an obnoxious slave. I fade waves like Nat and Harriet. I blast on Judas Iscariot and feel long in the chariot. I'm sitting pretty, spitting flames, dripping grains. Ain't a damn thing changed.
How was you doing? Fine. Dear boy, he was the fish as well.
I was in
Well,
a
good, how it's
zone.
flying? No, sir. No. They do it because they were born to do it. Born to do it.
What you are witnessing, dear friends, is the most enormous miracle of the machine age. The creation of a confectionery
They
giant.
say Candyman, spit me a dream. Blow a chunk of the levy out and spit me a stream. Knock a man house down and build a casino.
Blog Talk Radio. More in this MP3.
So the app that's on its way is going to have all of these shows in the archives. You'll be able to access it from your phone right on your app that'll be built like a Spotify. So you'll be able to go into all of these classic shows, all of these even classic music of ours. It's just going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. So look out for that. That's coming. Something is going on with my signal. It looks like the YouTube might start acting up. Right? But yeah. But we about to sign out, you know? We about to sign out. I'm gonna get back with y'all on Monday. The link for the Eventbrite for the tickets for American Gods 3 is in the description. Get your tickets. It's coming up this January the 4th, which is right around the corner. The 4th, 1/4/2020. We're going to have an online Saturday. We're going to have a 4-hour lecture, maybe a 3-hour, between 3 and 4. So get your tickets. If you know anything about the online lectures that we do, you already know what this is going to be. It's going to be chock full of information, top quality. If you're going to be in the DMV area this weekend, Saturday, December 21st, close out this whole era, this epoch, by coming to see your brother Red Pill and the brother Dr. Wesley Muhammad. This will be history made. First time me and the brother done a lecture together. We did blog talks together. Now we do a lecture. This will be in B-More, all right, at the, let me pull that up, at the Mount Pleasant Baptist Church in Maryland, all right. Go on to Instagram and get more information. But, I look forward to meeting y'all. Oh, let me pull it up right here. It's Pleasant Hope Baptist Church, 430 East Belvedere Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland, 21212. Doors open at 6 p.m. Saturday, December 21st, and the lecture is 7 to 10 p.m. Tickets are $25 in advance, 30 at the door. Dr. Wesley Muhammad, Brother Red Pill, the weaponization of hip-hop, what's next? All right, so I look forward to seeing y'all in the building. We'll have Kings County and a few other things in the building. Yes, right on the solstice. That's right. Let us do our magic. Let us cook. All right. With that being said, thank you everyone for pulling up tonight. Love and light to the family. I see y'all Melanin Monday. Peace.